Despite the time that this martial art was created, Bartitsu led the way for many in the inclusion of martial arts for all. So welcome to this dive into the exploration of the role of women in Bartitsu, a Victorian martial art that broke barriers and redefined self-defense for its time. Bartitsu wasn't just a system for gentlemen, despite what many know it as. It also empowered women during an era when personal safety and societal expectations were at odds. Today, we'll delve into the history, techniques, and the cultural impact of Bartitsu on women's self-defense. Let's begin with the social context of the 19th century in England. Victorian London was a rapidly industrialising metropolis, bustling with opportunity, but also rife with crime. Women faced unique challenges, as societal norms dictated a submissive, dependent role, leaving them vulnerable in public spaces. The suffragette movement was gaining traction, and with it, the demand for greater independence and security for women. This is where Edward William Barton Wright, the founder of Bartitsu, enters the picture. Barton Wright introduced Bartitsu in 1898, calling it the new art of self-defense. While his primary audience was gentlemen, Barton Wright quickly recognized the need for a self-defense system tailored to women. He adapted Bartitsu's techniques, incorporating moves that required minimal strength, making it accessible and effective for those with smaller physiques. Barton Wright's Bartitsu Academy of Arms and Physical Culture, based in London, welcomed women into its class, a radical move for the time. Victorian women flocked to the academy, learning techniques derived from jiu-jitsu, boxing, and cane fighting. The focus wasn't just on brute force, but on leverage, timing, and the element of surprise. Skills that allowed women to neutralize attackers who were often physically stronger. One of the most famous proponents of women's self-defense in Bartitsu was Edith Garrud. Garrud was a pioneer in martial arts and a vocal advocate for women's empowerment. She was among the first female instructors to teach jiu-jitsu in England and became closely associated with the suffragette movement. Garrud taught members of the Women's Social and Political Union self-defense techniques, famously training the suffragette bodyguards, who protected activists from violent opposition during protests. Garrud's work exemplified Bartitsu's philosophy. Self-defense wasn't just about fighting, it was about confidence, control, and independence. Her teachings demonstrated how women could defend themselves against larger, stronger opponents using joint locks, throws, and pressure points, all while maintaining their dignity and composure, a Victorian ideal. The inclusion of women in Bartitsu training was groundbreaking in an era where women's physical activity was often confined to genteel pursuits like dancing or croquet. Bartitsu offered something revolutionary. It gave women a practical skill and a sense of agency, challenging the societal norms that painted them as defenseless. Bartitsu also introduced the concept of improvised weapons, teaching women to use everyday items like parasols and handbags for self-defense. A parasol with its sturdy frame and pointed tip became a discreet yet powerful tool in the hands of a trained Bartitsu practitioner. This innovation aligned perfectly with Victorian sensibilities, allowing women to protect themselves while adhering to social expectations of propriety. The cultural impact of women in Bartitsu extended beyond the academy walls. By participating in this martial art, women sent a clear message. They were not passive bystanders, but active participants in shaping their own safety and independence. This resonated deeply with the suffragette movement and the broader push for gender equality during the early 20th century. However, the decline of Bartitsu after 1902, following the closure of Barton Wright's Academy, meant that its influence faded for much of the 20th century. Despite this, its legacy endured, particularly through figures like Edith Garrud, whose contributions to women's self-defense and the suffragette movement remain iconic. In recent decades, Bartitsu has seen a revival, and the role of women in its history has gained renewed attention. Modern practitioners and historians highlight how Bartitsu's inclusion of women was ahead of its time, demonstrating that self-defense is not limited by gender but enhanced by adaptability and strategy. Today, Bartitsu stands as more than just a martial art. It's a symbol of empowerment, a reminder that personal safety is a universal right, and a testament to the courage of women who broke barriers in an era of rigid societal norms. As we look back at the role of women in Bartitsu, we see a story of resilience, innovation, and unyielding pursuit of independence. From Victorian London to today's martial arts studios, Bartitsu continues to inspire, proving that the principles of self-defense are timeless. Don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating history of martial arts and the stories of those who shaped them. Thank you for joining us on this journey into Bartitsu and the remarkable women who helped define its legacy.